What if I told you that there is an African country that is home to some of the world's biggest superpowers and their military base? I'm talking France, US, China, Japan, and some other countries. In fact, China has the capacity to host 7,000 of its troops in this country. The French, well, their troops can live there with their wife and children. But it's not so much about this country and what exactly is in this country. I want us to focus on why these other countries are in this African country. Stay with me and I will take you on this journey to discover Djibouti. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chika. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, but only if you love this amazing video that I've put together for you. We're talking about Djibouti. It's a small African country that most researchers in geopolitics and international security are calling the world's biggest garrison. It is home to the military bases of some of the world's biggest superpowers. France, the United States, Japan, China, Italy, and even Spain. And this is not the plot of a spy movie. No, this is an actual country. Djibouti. It's located in East Africa. And here's the crazy part. France has had its troops in Djibouti for 131 years. That's longer than some of us have even known countries could exist as they do today. But why does France and every other superpower care so much about this small African country? Well, the answer is simple. Location. Djibouti is in a very prime spot. It's just right at the edge of the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean, which are super important pathways for ships carrying goods around the world. A huge chunk of France's trade passes through, the nearby waters. And so having troops there is like guarding their favorite shortcuts, if you will. Some of you might already know countries like Mali, Niger, Senegal recently told France to pack up and leave. If you don't know why these countries will do that, well, you need to go and check out my last video because I talk about all of this in that video. So make sure you check it out when you get a moment. In fact, I would say pause this video, go back to that video, watch, get some more context, come back here and continue watching this video. Okay, so that done. But look, Djibouti hasn't sort of done the same. Well, for one thing, you see all these military base, they bring in a total of about $170 million every year. That's about 3% of their gross national products. And if you ask me, that's a lot of money for a country of about 1.2 million people. So, there's an incentive for them to do all of this. But you see, not everyone in Djibouti is happy about this. Some locals feel like their country is being treated like, how do I put it, a hotel for foreign armies than a nation with its own identity. Still, there's no denying the importance of Djibouti, right? And where it sort of lies in the larger African landscape. It also does not help that Djibouti is sort of surrounded by countries that are prone to conflicts breaking out. You look at Ethiopia and its conflict with Eritrea. You look at Somalia, you look at Sudan. These are countries that surround Djibouti. And so for many of these countries that have ships passing through this region, it is important for them to safeguard their business. For these other countries, it is strictly business and nothing more, which is a very interesting thing because they're almost like saying, look, you're very small, you might be overrun by these other guys, so we're just going to come in here, mind our business, the business that pays us, while also making sure that the conflicts around your neighbors don't spill into your country, which I find very interesting. But also, it's a reminder that Africa needs to wake up and handle its affairs on its own, because these other superpowers clearly are not coming here to save the day. They're not here to play superhero. They just don't want anybody to disrupt their shipping activities. You know, whatever happens, you guys will be fine. Take care of yourself. If you want to keep fighting until you decimate your population, that's on you. But don't spill into this country. We have our troops here and we'll protect our interests. All of these countries and their military bases in Djibouti sort of help keeps the country calm. I mean, when was the last time you heard about anything from Djibouti in the news? I'm from an English-speaking African country, and Djibouti rarely makes its way in the news, you know, in the part of the world where I'm from. Perhaps it's a different story if you live in a French-speaking country, because they do speak French and Arabic in Djibouti. If you live in a French-speaking country and it's not the same, and you probably do hear a lot more about Djibouti in the news. Let me know what country you're in, okay? It will be nice to connect with you. So at the moment, that's what it is. So what about France? What about the future? You see, France is scaling back its activities in this country. And this is interesting because France has 1,500 troops or thereabouts stationed in Djibouti, which is, by the way, the largest of its troops outside of France. Anywhere in the world, that's where they have the most French troops. Also, fun fact, this is the only place in the world where French troops can actually live with their families. So it's a very interesting dynamic that France has with this country. When this country first gained independence in 1977, France had 4,500 troops there. Back in the early 2000s, there were about 3,000 of them. So fast forward 24 years later, or 25, and this is where we are, about 1,500. Still a lot for some people, but again, it's worth recognizing that France is scaling back its operations in this very important African country. But I want to know what you think of this. How would you feel, you know, knowing that every of the world's superpower has a base in your country? Or, well, not every, or at least some of the world's biggest superpower has a base in your country. At a time when many African countries are saying, all right, please close shop and go. We don't want you owning a military base here. And there are many African countries like Nigeria saying, we will not allow any country open a military base here. And then there's one that is just essentially like an Airbnb for all of these military bases to come there and protect their interests along its waters. What do you make of it? And do you think that it's a sustainable plan long term for this small African country called Djibouti? And I also know that you might be saying, wait, but aren't America and China sort of, you know, going back and forth? Aren't they like ops? Well, not exactly, because you see, in this, you know, African country, there's a way in which all of these countries exist and watch each other, but they don't necessarily attack each other. Like, they don't attack each other. They observe each other closely. For instance, China is there to sort of expand its reach outside of Beijing and have some authority in places that are a little farther off from their own territory. I want to hear from you. How do you feel about this? And do you think it's a really good deal for $170 million every year? Do you think that Djibouti might actually, you know, be doing something that other African countries should maybe emulate? Or do you think it's, you know, not exactly a big deal? Let me know your thoughts on this. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe. My name is Chika. I love doing this. I love discussing Africa, anything from politics to tech to music, and of course I will continue to make all of these videos. So make sure you wait around, turn on my post notifications, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.